better when I was in the costume. Then I at least had an excuse
No,
when I trip
everybody
over
thought you were
stuff.
going down if you're there, like he's going down. Okay, JP. JP start.
All right, we're going to start the conference here in a few seconds. We're going to welcome the General Manager of the Marriott, Mr. J.P. Nell.
Thanks. Thanks, Craig. It gives me a real pleasure to welcome everybody to this year's tournament. This is my third and certainly nowhere near a lot of what other people have been doing this, but for the hotel, it's a highlight of the year for us to welcome back our friends and the tournament insofar as our relationship is concerned. So I'm very, very appreciative in as far as that is concerned. So a big welcome to all of you as well, of course. We hope that you enjoy the food this evening and that that you come back and see us more often. We're always looking for you to come and visit us whenever you can throughout the year. We do have a special presentation this evening, and I'd like to ask the hotel's Director of Sales and Marketing, Anthony Armas, to come on stage, Nels to come on stage. And with our commitment to supporting this whole week, or this whole event insofar as that is concerned, Diamond Rock and Marriott are very proud to be a big part of what the organization is. And I'm going to ask Anthony just to hold us. And this is a check for $25,000 to help. So, to be of use to this program for this year and for however long. But it is certainly our pleasure to be, as I said earlier, a part of what we're doing this year and other years as well. So again, enjoy the rest of your evening. Great to have you here, Nels and Craig. Great. Thank
Awesome.
you. So.
Awesome. Thank you, JP. This is really unbelievable. And just so everybody knows, the plan for this money is basically going to go to kids. All right, so kids to get to the games, if they need it, we need to feed them, whatever we have to do, because we need to have our young people of the U.S. Virgin Islands have some role models and see that these people that are playing basketball, that that they have reached a chance to get a scholarship, and we're trying to build that up even more so that even more people than your Christmases and your and your Timmy Duncans and different players who move on to the NBA, that they got a great opportunity to play basketball at the University of Virgin Islands or in the States. And so that's where that money will go. So thank you, JP and the Marriott. It's fantastic. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Nels. Yeah, I echo Nels' thanks. Appreciate very much our partnership with the Marriott. I Googled and found the LinkedIn of JP's LinkedIn account last night, and I realized that he's big time. I mean, he's done some really good things throughout the world, and I think we're all happy that we're able to be with you down here at the Marriott. And want to thank the Marriott for this nice spread tonight. It's really we got the grouper going, we got the tenderloin going, we got the suckling pig going, and some good stuff. Wanted to also welcome everybody on Veterans Day and kind of recognize that today is Veterans Day, and we appreciate that you're here and everything that the veterans have done for us. We've gone from helping out the kids to the veterans, and so want to make sure everybody recognizes that. As we start, thank you. As we started earlier, we definitely want to have fun. One of our themes is always to have more fun than we've had in the past. I think it's one of the business tenets that Basketball Travelers has, and we're actually in our 30th year. So I think that's a testament to Nels, Neil, and the Basketball Travelers family, and Jen Ashby back at home. We've got some good speakers going tonight. We're going to announce our brackets. So first thing we're going to do is throw up our brackets and our teams that we've got coming down for this year. Very excited about our field on the men's side. We've got some very good teams. We've got a couple teams that are coming back that have been here before. We've got, in the first round, we've got Ohio playing Tulsa. Yeah. Is that for Tulsa or Ohio or both? Oh, all right. Indiana State against Norfolk State. Norfolk State's been here a couple times. They upset a couple teams last time they were here. We've got Hofstra playing Florida State. Florida State is getting a lot of votes in the preseason top 25, and they've got what some people consider the best freshman in the country coming down here. So we've got, I think, 16 or 17 NBA scouts coming down as well to see him in one of his first games. We've got DePaul against South Carolina, which should be an outstanding game that will be on national television. So great field. You know, DePaul's got crazy history. South Carolina's got Coach Frank, who we had in the World University Games a couple years ago, and a great man. So excited about that. One of the other things we want to talk about tonight is something that we're very excited about in partnership with the University of the Virgin Islands. We are going to be playing on a brand new floor this year. So the US UVI and Basketball Travelers work together. It's owned mostly by majority by UVI, but we both chipped in well for this, and we actually have John Prater here, who is the designer and the foremost expert in floors in the world. So we're fortunate to have him here, and he's been here for the last couple days putting it down, and his wife Anita has been marking where things need to be improved. So it looks really nice. So everybody will be excited to see that. It's going to pop on TV. The CBS guys kind of got leaked to the fact that we've got this new floor, and they've been telling people they weren't supposed to tell yet. But here's our unveiling of the new floor. Yeah, it's extremely exciting. We are going to be broadcasting 6 of the men's games again nationally on CBS Sports Network. They've grown as a network, and we continue to be kind of their cornerstone of the beginning of their season. As they say internally, and as we like to say, the road to the Final Four begins in paradise. So, you know, this is the great time of year. That gives me goosebumps saying that. It's a great time of year, and we're excited to be part of the CBS family, as they are the ones who hold the rights to the Final Four. We've got some expanded social media presence going this year. Sean Christensen is here, and Tim is going to be helping him out. So we're going to be posting some more social media stuff as it goes. So feel free to retweet and repost everything that comes out there. We are also going to announce our field next year. Somehow some of the national media got sniff of the fact that we've got a good field coming next year as well. So on the men's side, we've got a very good teams coming down, including Washington State, who happens to be the home of Nels' son, Josh Hawkinson, who was third in the country last year in double-doubles. So we're excited about that, and that's our field for next year, and we're going to be sending out a release right after this press conference about that. On the women's side, we've got one of the best tournaments in the country coming down. We've got 2 different divisions. So we've got the Island Division, which is Rutgers, who's been here several times, and I know we've got a lot of Rutgers fans in the house. Tulane, UW Green Bay, who always gets a lot of votes in the top 25, and the University of Virginia. So that's a really, really good field. On the Reef Division, we've got the University of Maryland, who was the national champions a couple times. Old Dominion, who has been down here before. University of Pittsburgh and South Dakota State. So about as good as it gets on the women's side. So we're very excited about that. So we've got a good couple speakers going to also talk to us tonight, and without further ado, we'll begin that process. Our first speaker is going to be the president of the University of the Virgin Islands. He's a great person for us to be the president because he's got a basketball background, and he understands how sports can be important to the community. So I'd like to introduce Dr. David Hall.
Good evening to everyone, and on behalf of the entire UVI family, we want to welcome basketball travelers back to the island again. It is always an honor for us to host Paradise Jam at the university. From our perspective, it is more than just a basketball tournament. It is a way to bring national attention to the Virgin Islands, and it is a way to bring national attention to the University of the Virgin Islands, which from our selfish perspective, we believe is one of the most outstanding universities in the nation. There are some exciting things going on. We try to use Paradise Jam as an opportunity to let the world know about what we're doing in various areas of research and what our students are engaged in, and that is important to us. As Craig indicated, we will be unveiling the new floor this year. That is a partnership between the two of us to bring that about. We also plan to donate the old floor, because old is a relative word when it comes to basketball floors, to one of the local schools or one of the local organizations, so that it will still go to good use, because it has a lot of life left in it. But for this tournament, we wanted the best that we could find, and we are glad to have pulled that off. We also want to just remind you that every year, due to the graciousness of basketball travelers, the UVI basketball team will participate in the tournament, playing against one of our teams from Puerto Rico, and so we encourage you to be a part of that and ask that you will support that game as well. So again, on behalf of the university, we thank basketball travelers for the relationship that we have. It is a relationship which we've recently renewed for a number of years going forward, and we are glad about that, and we believe that it is a mutually beneficial partnership that brings so many benefits to the territory, but it also brings benefits to the university, and for that we are delighted. So welcome to all of you, and we encourage you to really support this special event this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. Yeah, the UVI game on Saturday night is often one of the highlights of the whole event, because the community comes out and supports the game. It's usually streamed live as well, so it'll be fun for everybody to see that on Saturday night. And I know the UVI coach, Coach Brown, will be getting ready, his team ready. I know they've been practicing at Charlotte Amalia High School as the new floor gets down, so they're excited about playing on the new floor as well. Our next speaker is somebody we've known for a long time. He's considered a national hero, at least from my perspective. That's what he tells us. He was the captain of the national team for a long time. He's now the assistant commissioner of the Sports and Recreation Department here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and he's a very good man. He's one of our best people that kind of help us out and solve issues as they come up. So, Mr. Calvert White, the captain.
Good evening. Nels, I had a check for $25,000, but when I heard you say you're going to give it back to the youths, I knew you was going to give it back to me anyways, so I decided to keep it. I've worked with Basketball Travelers over the last 12 plus years, and although in my new role as assistant commissioner, basketball is no stranger to the Department of Sports, Park, and Recreation. For the last 3 years, they have been one of the biggest sponsors of our basketball leagues, donating over 100 balls each year. You might say, okay, it's just basketballs. Well, the next time your kid wants a basketball and it's $70, then you'll see the significance in that. Like I said, you guys get to see Basketball Travelers and Paradise Jam for 2 weeks out of the year, and I get to work with them all year round. We have recently been talking about getting some equipment for the Department of Sports, Park, and Recreation so that our kids can have the necessary supplies that they need when dealing with athletics and sports. Along with the basketballs that they give to us, there's about another 100 basketballs that they donate to all the schools in the Department of Education. So I think they need a round of applause for that, because you know, one of the big programs with the Department of Sports, Park, and Recreation that I saw, the Lieutenant Governor program. And I also want to, you know, give kudos to International Capital Management, because I think I saw Mr. Williams here in the building. They just adopted Lionel Roberts Stadium. I haven't quite got a commitment yet from Nels, but we're currently talking about them doing some stuff as far as adopting partially one of our parks. So I'm looking forward to that commitment and partnership. Like I said, at the department, we look for all the help that we can, and Basketball Travelers has continued to be one of our biggest supporters, and I look forward to the future years working with these guys as they give back to the youths of the Virgin Islands. Thanks.
He's a national hero, but he can talk pretty well too, so that's a good combination. Our next speaker is somebody we've also worked with in different spheres of influence, and we're excited now that he's the Lieutenant Governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands. He worked with us on the broadcast side for many years, and we're very excited that he's here tonight to say a few words. Mr. Osbert Potter is in the house.
Hey, thank you so much. Good evening to everyone. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans in the house. You know, today we had a major parade honoring the veterans, and we just had them up at Catherinesburg, so I just left from there. But we definitely want to not ever forget the contributions that the veterans have made so that we can live the freedom and the life that we are living now, okay? I think all I'm going to say is we take it for granted every day when we get up that this is how it should be. But this is how it is because of the veterans that put their lives on the line. So just want to say happy Veterans Day again to everyone. I am proud to welcome again to Paradise Jam, and Basketball Travelers. This is a group that I got involved with when I was at WTJX Channel 12, where we were able to utilize at that time some of our equipment to help the games be transmitted live to the mainland. And I'm happy to continue in full support of what Basketball Travelers is doing I think they bring a lot of recognition to the Virgin Islands. I think the potential for even greater things exists, and we look forward every year to being a major part of Basketball Travelers and Paradise Jam through the sponsorships and just whatever the government of the Virgin Islands can do. And as long as I'm in this position, the doors will be wide open to full assistance to making sure that this is a productive and a successful event every year. As Calvert just indicated, we were able to get the Lionel Roberts Stadium to be adopted by a private entity. And that's a mission and that's a goal that I have for all the parks in the territory. I think we don't always have to count on government to do everything. And during the long campaign, I saw the conditions that our parks were in, and I vow right there and then that we have to do better. And with the assistance and coordination and just the partnership with the private sector, we can do better for our youngsters. We keep saying that the youngsters are the future and we are, here for them, but a lot of time it's only talk. And we have to change that mindset from just talk into action and do things that we can do to make that whole life a lot better for our youngsters. And again, Nels, you can't miss Nels. So whenever Nels come, hey, Osmond, that's how he says, right? I'm here, I need to see you. So I always, you cannot say no to Nels, basically is what I'm saying. And we all know that. So Nels, yes, we'll do whatever we can do to make this a success. So thanks again for being here. As Dr. Hall said, it exposes the Virgin Islands and does it in a positive way. So we look forward to you doing this every year. So thanks again.
Good? Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. Potter. That was perfect. Yeah, we, one of the things that is continues to be a serious differentiator for our event is our connection to the community. When you see some of our competition and some of the other early season events that are out there, you just do not have the support that you get here inside of the stadium and the enthusiasm and the passion for basketball in the community. So we really appreciate everything that U.S. Virgin Islands has done for us. Our next speaker is another person we've known for a little while and with some different hats, and we're very excited that she's part of the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Tourism now. And I'd like to welcome Miss Joyce Dorr Griffin, who has been up here before. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonas. Good evening. On behalf of Beverly Nicholson Doty and the entire staff at the Department of Tourism, we thank you for your support of Paradise Jams, and we welcome you. Thank you so much for participating in this. Jonas mentioned earlier that this is a great time of year. I love this time of year. This is the time of year that the island is popping. Everyone is looking good, and then Nels pops in, and then he even makes us look much better. And you kick off our season for us to get started, and we are excited about that. We're excited to have you here. To our fellow sponsors and our fellow supporters, we thank you for your support of Paradise Jams. Continue to support basketball, continue to support programs like this that focus on our youths and focus on also advertising the U.S. Virgin Islands. Every year, the department charges Paradise Jam with increasing their numbers, not only meeting their numbers, but increasing their numbers. And Nels, congratulations, you managed to do that. And we thank you. We thank you so much for making it easy to be to be in partnership with you. Thank you so much. And again, welcome to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joyce. That was perfect. Yeah, We do have a new partnership that we're probably going to announce here very soon that has just been signed with, so an extension for a couple of years with the U.S. Department of Tourism, and we're extremely excited about that. Thank you for Lonnie for helping us on that as well. I realized as you were speaking that how important it has been to the Basketball Travelers family, that this community and everything. My son, who's 17, just did his applications for college, and he had to do 3 different essays, and one of them he actually wrote about the U.S. Virgin Islands, and he talked about he tried to combine some things for the future, and I was kind of watching him write this, and I realized, wow, how important this has been to our life, Basketball Travelers' life in our 30 years. So I want to thank you for that. I mean, he talked about Coral World, he talked about eating at in the local community and all kinds of stuff. So that was cool. Our next speaker is the voice of the Paradise Jam. She's been our sideline reporter and our feature editor. She does a little bit of everything, and we really appreciate our relationship with Monica Jonigan. She's big time too.
Big time. Wouldn't describe it that way. Thanks, Basketball Travelers. Paradise Jam is very special and important tournament for me. The very first year I worked with Paradise Jam, I was like my first year at TV2. I think that was the year the Boston Red Sox won the World Series. I was the stats girl, the live stats girl, feeding like the sideline, feeding the color and call commentators their stats and notes in the game. Basketball is my favorite sport. I'm a UVI Buck alumnus. So this tournament, yes, Buck Pride, that's right, championship teams right here. So this tournament is really close to my heart. Watching that floor be installed yesterday was awesome. It's beautiful every year, but this year's design is really special. John Prater, shouts out to Prater Flooring. You guys are on the news tonight. So I just wanted to say how special this tournament is to me and everyone here. I completely agree. From a media standpoint, I want to just give a couple shouts out. One is to my team at TV2. Nels and I tomorrow will be shooting the Paradise Jam preview shows, the men's and women's shows, which we'll be dishing on all the teams, and I'll have a surprise for Nels on the show, which he doesn't even know about, but you'll have to tune in to find out. And the men's preview show will air November 14th at 8 p.m. on TV2. There will be 5 showings of each of the preview shows, but the men's show will air first on November 14th. Right. That's not my job. November 20th is the first airing of the women's preview show at 8 p.m. So be sure and tune into that on TV2. If you miss it, don't worry, because we will post it online. Sean Christensen, who works with, he's the media director for Basketball Travelers, will be making sure it's on the Global Network web YouTube page as well. And I just, lastly, another media partner, I want to give a special shout out to Sherman Thomas. I don't know if he's in the room right now, but I did hear from him that he will be back on the Big Sports Radio show after a long year in rehab. Many of you know Sherman is battling back. He's now coaching the Airwax again, and he's let me know that he is resuming his radio show for the Paradise Jam this year, so we're really looking forward to that. I just want to give shouts out to Sherman. And Nels, Basketball Travelers, that check to the Community Foundation, which I've consulted with before for the Kids Count Project, huge, big deal. What you guys do in terms of giving out basketballs and really supporting youth sports and development in the territory is not a small thing. So in that regard, I just want to talk about a couple of local events that are happening in and around the Paradise Jam that really do need our support, and at least some thoughts as well. The Rock City Jam will be taking place in the days in between the games that are played for the Paradise Jam, and that's going to take place at Charlotte Amalie High School the 23rd and 25th. So, Howard Dorsey and his crew and a lot of people working in local basketball are bringing teams down, high school teams, to play competitive basketball at Charlotte Amalie High School during the time where there are no Paradise Jam games. So you can have a chance to get there and really support these local kids, putting their hearts out there. On St. Croix, because they are you know, in no way left out of what we do here. Hopefully we have some people watching on the live stream right now from St. Croix, and we'll be able to watch on ParadiseJam.com during the tournaments. But what they're doing over on St. Croix while this tournament is going on is the annual Gregory Big Youth Davis Thanksgiving Basketball Memorial Tournament. That's going to happen at Central High School on St. Croix. We want to encourage everybody just, you know, to, if you're over here, if you're watching live stream, you're on St. Croix, try to get out and support those young people, because ball is in their hearts too, and they'll be playing while we're playing big-time college basketball here. So I just wanted to mention those things. And one of my favorite things about the Paradise Jam, I mean, I go way back with this tournament. Nels has given me amazing opportunities again and again to practice the profession I love. And I've gotten to interview people like Pat Summitt and Candace Parker and Gino Auriemma and, you know, Rolando Blackman and like just a number of amazing people in the sport just by working with this tournament here on this tiny island. So I just want to say thanks, and yeah, go Jam.
Thank you very much. That was also very good. Yeah, Monica is really, really, really skilled. I think the U.S. Virgin Islands is very fortunate to have her in the mix for some of the things she does for the local scene. Our last speaker, and we'll probably stop the stream about right now, is got something to do with an announcement here, and he's going to probably bring it up a notch on the fun meter. But he has a couple things he wants to talk to us about, including this year's Hall of Fame class. Mr. Nels Hawkinson, also known as the Chipper the Litter Critter.
I said basketball is my favorite sport. I like to dribble up and down the court. I said keep it so fresh on the microphone. I like no interruption when the game is on. My favorite play is the alley-oop. I like the way they take it to the hoop. I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go. It's basketball. Bow wow, let's go. Woo! Yeah! Number 16, everybody. That's exactly right. Hey, first of all, I want everybody to look that direction. We've got all these sponsors, the platinum, the gold, the silver, the bronze, the Blondes Plus. Most of you are in this room, and you're one of those, so give yourselves a hand because you're the one make this all possible. Wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely. So on your way out, we've got those really nice bags all set for you with all your little goodies. And for of course, our platinum and our gold sponsors, you get to go in the beat zone. So the beat zone is back again, all right? Yeah, it is. Now, I want to tell you just a quick, so you've heard a lot of people talk, and I'm gonna stop shortly, but the idea of the beat zone, all right, I know I took away a few of people's favorite seats in the end zone, and you got mad at me, but what happened was, since that time, while the event was going on, people were on social media going, what? A basketball court has a beat zone? What is that? Well, of course, dummy. It's on an island. I mean, you know, all this banner was going back and forth, and it's achieving the purpose that I wanted to do, and that was have people talk about the Virgin Islands, okay, not necessarily the tournament. So Central Florida actually stole, I'll say, our idea. So if you watch Central Florida football game, they have a beat zone this year. How about that? Boo. No, not boo. No, it's a great thing. So we have a beat zone again, and we're figuring that out to try to soup that up a little bit. You've seen our mascot. We're excited about finally. And next year, maybe we might even have a Paradise jingle, you know, by year 17. So, again, thank you to all our sponsors for all of those things that you've done for us. And, again, a shout-out to all our veterans. I was not a veteran, but I've been on probably, I don't know, 15-plus military bases around the world. And while Bob Hope, for those of you who remember the Bob Hope shows, no, you don't, but some of you at my age or above do. We've been doing that from a basketball standpoint. When we bring teams in August going out to different parts of the world, we'll bring them a basketball game, and they'll play an inter-squad game. Or we actually got permission from the NCAA a couple years ago to have West Virginia play against Illinois. And we do slam dunk shows and clinics, and it's just really, really rewarding. We came onto a base I did 3 years ago, Vicenza Air Force Base outside of Venice. So we were up there, and unbeknownst to us, we show up, and about 8 or 9 of their people from their base have been killed in Afghanistan, like within the last 2 or 3 days. So the base was just sullen, and it was really, really depressing because, you know, you all work together, and you know, and everyone knows each other. So we came there, and I'll never forget Gary Blair. He's been here before with Texas A&M a couple times. You remember him, kind of old grandpa, one of my best friends in the game. And he was Corps. He was Marine Corps. I didn't even know that. And he gave a 30-minute kick everyone in the butt speech that everybody, it was unbelievable. I'll never forget as long as I live, to those people. And they left. And no one actually didn't leave. They just hung around. It was an amazing experience. So shout out to our veterans that are here. And I appreciate the country that I live in, and appreciate you for what you've done and what all our military continue to do. Another real special thing we started a few years ago was, this is not Casper the Friendly Ghost right here, all right? I know I could have done a little better job of draping this a little nicer. My wife doesn't come till Sunday, so she can't critique me. But in here, all right, is our Hall of Fame award trophy. And so there are a few people here tonight that I want to honor on stage, and some of them we will honor again during the men's tournament. One person that is not here, it's about time, but with the Hall of Fame, what we decided to do early is honor some of the older people that we want to honor them before they maybe passed away. So the reason why I brought that up is because, I'm into women's rights as much as a woman is, and so we're going to introduce our very first woman as the Hall of Fame. She's not here tonight, but it's Stephanie Piety Williams. So let's give her a round of applause. Not here tonight. She'll be at the game. So what she's done for the Virgin Islands, and irony of ironies is actually, she went and played 1 year at Cheney State, and guess who the coach was at Cheney State? Anybody have an idea? She's a coach that's coming to the women's tournament this year. Vivian Stringer from Rutgers was her coach at Cheney State. So they're going to unite each other when she's getting the Hall of Fame award, which is a pretty cool thing. Really neat stuff. We're happy, of course, to have Vivian. Vivian, is all world if you know anything about women's basketball. So we'll also be honoring the 1965 Men's Virgin Islands national team, which is the very first men or women's team to represent the Virgin Islands in an international competition. It's their 50th anniversary, 1965. So there are, and maybe someone snuck in on me, but I know 3 gentlemen that are here tonight, and I'd like to bring them up and introduce them personally. So first of all, Caswell Callender, Charles Callender, and Austin Thomas. Are all 3 of you in the house? Come on up. Come on up. Did I miss some? Oh. Come on up here, everybody. Yeah, come on up. I want you to come over by this trophy. Because of these 4 men and the other men that, there's 3 deceased, and the other men that are not here tonight, but we will be honoring all of them during halftime of I think it's the Saturday night game. Your national team is on this trophy that, of course, is proudly displayed at the UVI Sport and Fitness Center. This is I almost want to cry because you 4 men and your teammates brought the Virgin Islands to all the other players that have played long after you and made it easier for our Paradise Jam to do what it's been able to do. So we honor all 4 of these men and the 1965 men's national team. And if you want to just say one word about anything, feel free.
Good evening, everyone. 50 years and 2 weeks exactly. That's a long time. So. And if you ask us, any of us, we may all give you different versions of what happened in Mexico City in 1965, but you can't blame us because it's been a long time and we sort of tend to forget a whole lot. And everyone would try to change the story. But I know we had a great deal of fun and I just enjoyed it. And I know that, I think that we would like to take some credit for some of the people that followed us. You have the Tim Duncan, you have Milt Newton, you have Christmas, you have Mr. Whitehair. So I think I would like to give ourselves a round of applause.
Good evening. My name is Dennis McAvoy. That's Kazi. Jimmy, known as Troy. Miming, known as 88 locally. Dr. Hall talking about a new court. We actually played basketball outdoors in 1965. We transitioned into the Shawnee High School gym with a concrete floor, not a wooden floor, just concrete, right? With the stripe, you know. So, I mean, it's kind of a little rough on the knees. Our team was probably considered in most areas as a recreational league all-star team, and we were playing against Cuba, Panama, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. They were professional athletes. We went into our first game from the Shawnee High School, where approximately seats maybe 200 or 300 people, to a stadium that was loaded with 12,000 people. And that was a culture shock. We did all right. Anyway, but I'd like to thank Nels. I brought this idea to him a year ago, and I emailed him earlier in the year, this year, back in August or September, about the idea, and he emailed me back, brilliant. And I immediately printed it out, and I'm going to frame it because it's the only time my name and brilliant has ever been in the same sentence. So
Oh, good evening, everybody. My name is Charles Callner, better known as Jimmy Callner. I'm glad to be here among my fellow basketball team members, what's left of them. I guess if back in the day, if we was playing on a wooden court instead of a concrete court, our knees would have been much stronger and a little bit less strong. But we playing on a hard concrete court, we took a beating. Our knees took a beating. But other than that, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun, and glad to see everybody here from the team. And to the members who couldn't make it, you know, I'm sorry, but it was a great event for those who passed on. It was this meeting here tonight is something to reflect on the past, and I'm glad and honored to be here.
I would first like to give a shout out to Eric Winters, Vernon Scipio, and James Scott. Those are 3 members of the team that went with us that passed away. And I'd like to also thank the Basketball Travelers and UVI for everything. Thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Wow. Don't leave the room until you say something to one of these guys today, would you? Do not leave the rooms. You know, we appreciate what you've done. This is just awesome. I still think they got a little game. See, they got a little swag coming up there a little bit. You know, I mean, that's incredible. So, again, I appreciate all of you. I'm going to hand this back to Craig for some closing remarks. Please eat what's left, or I'm taking it up to my room. All right? So, get it over to Craig. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. If anybody has any additional questions, we can do that offline as the stream concludes here. We're extremely excited about our 16th year at the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam at the University of Virgin Islands, and look forward to seeing everybody out at the gym next week. Thank you very much.